22nd of February 2019, Hillary Clinton tweets this: "Insects are declining worldwide because of pesticide use. This is nuts. We need bees." Now, she references another tweet from Now This, who report that the EPA has approved dumping bee-killing pesticides across 16 million acres of land. Now, this refers to a report that has just come out from the EPA that in 2018 they gave special exemptions for a pesticide to be used. This pesticide is called sulfoxaflor. It's an insect neurotoxin that is highly toxic to bees. It's produced by Dow Chemical Corporation under the names of Transform and Closer. Now, in 2015, the US Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals overturned the EPA's approval of sulfoxaflor. Previous to that, it had been used by the EPA under Obama's authority to be used in restricted areas. However, in 2016, the United States Environmental Protection Agency, the EPA, approved new registrations for sulfoxaflor. Then, in 2018, the most recent occurrence, the EPA declared certain pesticide emergency exemptions. So, why would Hillary be tweeting about this? As previously, she'd been known as Bride of Frankenfoods. Hillary was a partner at the Rose Law firm when they represented Monsanto. And in 2014, she gave a speech in support of GMOs and their associated chemicals at a biotech industry conference. During her presidential campaign, she further gave support when visiting Iowa in 2015. Now, that actually caused a bit of dissension among women voters in Iowa who, despite approving of Hillary and her campaign, they didn't approve of her stance on GMOs, and she lost a lot of support because of that. Now, Monsanto gave the Clinton Foundation between $500,000 and $1 million. And the Dow Chemical Corporation has donated between $1 million and $5 million to the Clinton Foundation. So let's take a look at Monsanto that has been bought by Bayer. They are the makers of Roundup. Now, this contains a chemical called glyphosate that is a known carcinogen. And it's now been looked at that some honey now contains glyphosate. There's also been a study that bees can be killed by it because it actually destroys their microbiomes. So the plants that they normally go to get their nectar and their pollen, well, they're being destroyed because of Roundup, which is a weed killer. Bayer and Monsanto also produce pesticides that are killing the bees directly. So then we go to Dow and DuPont. Now, what does Hillary Clinton have to do with Dow and DuPont? Let's have a look. So in 2007, there was a chemical that's also known as TCE that's known as being dangerous to the elderly, young children and also pregnant women. Hillary Clinton wrote a bill to ban this chemical. However, it didn't get to the House floor. Why didn't it get to the House floor when they actually had majority at that time? Well, Dow made a contribution to the Clinton Foundation. And after that donation, the bill was never put to the floor. Then we have the CEO of the Dow Chemical Company, who in 2009 settled a lawsuit against Kuwait over a failed joint venture after meeting with Hillary. Now, both these organisations, so the Kuwaiti government and Dow Chemical, were funders of the Clinton Foundation, as well as the Global Clinton Initiative. Then we have Teneo, who's a global CEO advisory firm. Now, in 2009, Leveris, the CEO of Dow, he played a game of golf with Bill Clinton. Subsequent to that, Dow donated $705,000 to the Clinton Foundation. Then Dow paid Teneo $2.8 million in 2011 and then $19.4 million in 2012. Now that is a big difference in those fees, and their excuse for that was just the market conditions at the time. However, a report that came out indicated that it appears Dow is paying Teneo for connections with Clinton. So all this suggests another pay for play that Clinton has involved herself with. So getting back to this tweet, insects are declining worldwide because of pesticide use. This is nuts, we need bees. Why is Hillary tweeting about this? She has obviously in the past been a huge supporter of both companies that produce chemicals that have been known to destroy bee habitat and also bees, as well as other pollinating insects. Well, we know that the cabal often use tweets to relay information. Now, how is this relating to what she's tweeted? So she's tweeted about bees, she's tweeted about they're in danger. Well, then we get to what the cabal is sometimes known as, and that is Hivites. Now, this comes from the Bible. It's a tribe that was one of the descendants of Canaan, and it's a term that we use sometimes to describe this pagan cabal. And as we can see from some posts here that Beyonce's fans, they are known as the Beehive, and when you think about bees, you've got a queen bee, matriarchal society. Who's also known as a queen bee? Well, when Hillary tweeted this, people pointed out she is a queen bee. She is in danger. Her worker bees are being picked off one by one. She's crying out for help. And for the bees, if we die, we're taking you with us. Well, Hillary, not this time. But for the actual bees themselves, what can we actually do to help? First, boycott Roundup. There is absolutely no need that you need pesticide or herbicide on your gardens. For weed eradication on small scale, there's a number of points that you can use. You can also look at companion planting. So there are certain plants that discourage other insects from arriving and also encourage insects that actually eat other insects, depending on the plants that you're growing. You can also, in your own gardens, plant bee-attracting flowers. Support your local beekeepers. Buy honey from your local beekeeper rather than from in stores. You know where it's coming from, and the quality is so much better, and you know you're getting 100% real honey instead of any sort of diluted product. But most importantly, contact your representatives. Phone them, email them, or even write a letter to them. Make it known that you do not want these pesticides and herbicides to be used when they're actually going to kill the bees. And we need bees because without bees, plants cannot be pollinated, and therefore they won't grow fruit or vegetables from those. Take care of your bees.